If you wanted to get more kills, what would you have to do? Shoot straighter, move more unpredictable, have some crazy elaborate combination of abilities and plays? Well, the truth is, it is way easier and so much simpler than you'd actually think. It's so simple, in fact, you wouldn't even believe how basic it is. And at the end of the day, getting more kills revolves around only one thing. Keep shooting your gun. In today's coaching session, we explored basic fundamental skills that helped him keep his health up, move around more effectively, control situations even when he's losing, but most importantly, we put everything together and we got him shooting his gun more in today's duos matches. But how did we do this? How did we completely change his gameplay? Well, it all started with an assessment inside the firing range. First thing we need to do is identify a few common issues that D's might have. Once we figure out what's holding him back from killing me, we can figure out what's actually causing the issue, the little micro issues that go into his gameplay. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna hop on into the pit here. I'm gonna get you to start off on that opposite side. We'll use the whole entire pit. We're gonna start off, I'm gonna start off rather like very easy, almost like borderline trolling, is what it's gonna feel like. My goal is just like kind of see how you play overall, and as you know 1v1s go on, it'll get harder and harder, and then we'll really start to see where things start to pop up. There's only like 2 rules: no healing and no abilities. I just want to see again like how you play raw mechanically, and then everything that we add like ability wise and stuff like that, that will just like be like a bonus of sorts, right? If you can work on your raw skills as is, then everything else is just going to be extra. First thing that I start to notice with how D's engages is that he spends very little time actually peeking. Notice how I'm consistently looking out into the open, looking for him, trying to maybe shoot, see where he's going, but he's oftentimes nowhere to be seen. How is he possibly going to start landing damage to begin with if he's not really even peeking and trying to actually get that damage? This isn't just because he's not stepping out to shoot though. There's a lot of things that he's doing right now behind the scenes that's actually keeping him from being able to physically peek out. But we'll break all of that down once we get into the middle of the coaching session. Now, I'm only going about 20% effort right now, and the second thing that I'm starting to notice is how hard it is for D's to actually start landing damage on me. Most people think that damage is going to mostly come from your accuracy, and even though that is somewhat true, it's not completely true, especially not in this case. I'm noticing from where he's trying to shoot his gun is actually keeping him from hitting consistent shots. He's actually peeking way too much compared to how much he should be swinging. So basically, he's just letting me use cover as much as I want to, and that's keeping him from, well, being able to physically shoot me. The last major issue that I'm seeing from just these initial 1v1s is a major issue. He's simply not setting himself up to move around freely. The hardest part of fighting is typically moving around to the team that you want to kill. That's because when you're stuck in the open trying to push, you're typically being held by a team who's using cover. Imagine trying to push a team who's holding a building in zone, and you want that building. You're going to be stuck in the open as you try to rush and get on over towards them. Now, all these issues are super basic, but what's causing them is even more basic. So how do we start fixing them? Okay, so yeah, right off the rip, there's definitely a lot of things that I'm seeing happen in your gameplay that all in all, it's definitely going to limit what you can and what you can't do. And with that, you're just going to find that a lot of your fights are going to be needlessly a lot harder than they have to be. And with that, it's going to start to create scenarios where you feel like you just have no control over what's going on, and it's just going to get harder and harder and harder as the fight progresses. So there was 2 main things, like 2 main quote unquote categories that I'm kind of like seeing here with you. One of them is like your health management, and the other one is how engaged you are. And in both of those categories, there's a handful of different things that you're doing that is just making it in general really difficult for you. So what I kind of want to start off here is with like the health management. The more health you have, the easier it's going to be engaged. And then the more engaged you are, you're going to start finding that you actually start getting a little bit extra health off of it as well, because people look at you less the more that you look at them. So let's start off here with health management. Right off the rip, very first thing that I noticed with you is that you start almost every single one of your peaks in the open. And that maybe doesn't make a lot of sense, because how would you kind of peek if you're not in the open? What you're doing all the time, I'll toggle friendly fire here. If you want to just go put yourself like off this corner right here behind you, and then kind of peek out towards me right now. A lot of your peaks, you're starting off by sliding into the open, and now you're taking this engagement here. And what you're going to start finding is when I slide out, where am I gonna basically end up? Like, where's the first spot that you're gonna see me peek out of?
Like closer to the actual corner.
Yeah, right here off the corner. Now let's change spots with me. When I want you to slide out. I want you to slide out and try and put your crosshair where you think I'm going to be once you slide out. All right. So go back into cover and then slide on out on me.
Okay.
I saw your gun move. Right. So when you're coming out into the open, when you're the one peeking out, there's only one spot that you can peek from. Your singular corner. The other person could be standing here, here, here. Be standing here, could be standing here. So he just has to pre-fire where you're coming out in. You're instantly getting hit. But him, on the other hand, you have to adjust for him, which is going to be way more difficult. So what you need to start doing every single time that you are looking to engage from a new spot and you're not 100% sure what is going on, you're going to start off with 2 peeks. You're going to start off with an info peek. And now the next time you come out, you can pre-fire where you saw that person. So basically how this works, I'll do a really exaggerated version of this. I'll peek out looking somewhere over here, but I'll see you off to my left, your right. And I'll move on over as I come into cover. And now when I come out into cover, my shot should be right on top of you. So you're going to come out, info peek, and then start pre-firing that spot. You really have to focus on every time that you change positions. You're not moving to the angle, you're moving to the corner first and then peeking off the corner. You're taking way too much damage for that for free. Now, the second thing that I saw with you do a lot, and part of it was because you were sliding out a lot of the time, but what you're doing is you're tending to strafe far out into the open. So something that I want you to realize is whatever you do to someone, they can do right back to you. So if I put myself into a position where I'm able to one-mag you, I'm giving you the exact same option as well. And a really easy way that people do this like on accident consistently is they strafe really far out. And now you're setting yourself up where I might be able to put in a ton of damage on you, but as I'm strafing back into cover, you and your team can put a lot of damage back on me. In Apex, the time to kill is kind of long, but in 1 second of shooting, you can do 100+ damage with any gun in the game. So really good rule of thumb is you should not be strafing more than half of a second worth out of your cover. Because if you strafe simply 1 second out, well, now you got to double that and strafe 1 second back in. So just like how you're doing, instead of like a long strafe in and out, you can almost think of it like a flick out into the open and then a flick back into cover. So a really easy way that we can fix this. Have you ever heard me talk about like the iron sight rule? Or like the sight rule for peeking? Okay. So let's have you just aim down the side of your gun and let's get you next to a horizontal peak. So something that you can step horizontally in and out of. Perfect. So right here, I'll sit myself on this corner. I want you to aim down the side of your gun. The metal of your sight, so that left bracket of yours, should be either really close to or touching what is giving you cover. So for you, it should be touching that corner right there. Your left bracket. So if you were to step out, that right there is kind of like the maximum that you should be stepping in and out of your cover from. If you're stepping more than that, now you're just in the open for too long. So a really easy way to manage your health, a lot of people want to be hard to hit. But my question is, would you rather be hard to hit or would you rather be untouchable? So now what we're doing is instead of having a strafe that is making us hard to hit, now what we're doing is we're flicking in and out of the open.
Yeah, kind of like in Counter-Strike.
Yeah, exactly. Right, so that's the same idea here. Now, instead of strafing and shooting, now what you're going to want to be doing is flicking out and putting a laser beam. Think of just like controlling your recoil. Not so much that you're trying to track the person, but you're trying to put a laser beam of recoil into where that person's going to want to be standing. Now, the third thing, building more and more off of this idea that you need to really be focused on your health management, is how long are you staying in the open? So you were overextending a lot from your slides and getting stuck in the open and then working your way back. But something else that you're doing, even when you're really tight to your corner, is you're over peaking as well, where you're simply just shooting for too long, right? And that's causing you, again, whatever I do to you, you can do back to me. So if you shoot your whole mag, I'm one magging you right back. We still want to shoot the whole mag, but you need to shoot it in portions, back to back. Right. So instead of going all at once, you're instead going to be going quarter, 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 So you can still shoot a potential 540 worth of damage from your magazine. Every time you take that step back in, when he's holding down that trigger and you're not in the open, you're reducing his potential damage while still maintaining yours. With those 3 things that we just talked about, there's still a lot more. I don't want to give you like a million different things right now. Those 3 things. So making sure that every time we move to the corner first, then peek. Second is make sure that we're not strafing too far out. Let's keep ourselves tight to that corner and flick in and out. And that third thing is portion out your magazine to quarters and thirds and halves. Let's take those 3 things and let's have you kind of just practice those a little bit as we kind of go through these 1v1s again. And then we'll kind of see if it makes a little bit more of a difference with how much health you're kind of keeping. Now don't tap your gun because that's not really going to make anyone look away. And you're just going to be really hard to get damage off. Think about, I'm just going to shoot a quarter mag, quarter mag, quarter mag. So you're definitely shooting a lot more. I'm noticing that when you do hit, you tend to hit a little bit more damage now. Here's one thing that I'm sure you're kind of like noticing. Does it kind of feel like it's a little bit tough to like look in my direction without getting shot? So what you're constantly doing is you keep taking yourself out of this engagement, right? So here's a philosophy or like a mindset I want you to try to think about and try to incorporate. The more engaged that you are with me, the less engaged that I can be with you. And the less engaged I can be with you means the more that you can be with me. The more you can be with me, right? You can start to see it kind of cycles and it gets out of control for whoever chooses to be less aggressive or not even aggressive, but less engaged, less willing to shoot their gun, less willing to look at what's happening. So you keep taking yourself out of these engagements. And what happens is you start letting me look at you more. And now that I'm looking at you more, whenever you come out, I'm already watching where you're coming out from. I'm already pre-firing where you are. And now you're forced to look away. And now that you're looking away, I'm looking for you more. And it gets really hard for you to be consistently trying to shoot because I'm always making you become passive by force. So here's why you're becoming less engaged as the fight kind of progresses. Every time that you shoot your magazine, you always reposition. Why do you do that? Honest, like genuine question. Why do you always try to reposition? Is it like a force of habit? Are you trying to be unpredictable? Like, what's your reasoning for doing it?
I guess it's a force of habit. Yeah, I didn't notice.
Here's the main issue with that. I'm gonna toggle friendly fire. I'm gonna get you to stand way back over, right where you spawn. All right. Right now, what I want you to do, I want you to crouch and like basically like look at the rock in front of you and just don't look at where I am. Okay. All right. Right now. Stand up and ping where you hear me.
Might be something good this way.
All right, and if I move, where are you hearing me move to?
I'm trying to ping it.
Let's explore this way.
Yep. Now if you... Where am I playing right now?
Might be something good this way.
I'm not even sprinting, right? I'm just walking around in a circle. What am I doing right now? Where am I?
Directly in front of me
Let's go this
somewhere.
way.
All right, so now I'm going to move, and I want you to ping just before I come out of the corner that you hear me move to, okay? So look at the rock for a second so that you don't see which direction I go. Okay, stand back up, and I want you to ping what direction I'm moving into. Ready?
Might be something good this way.
There you go. So, are you cheating?
No, what?
Yeah, how do you know that I'm in that spot? You didn't see me.
Oh, because I can hear you.
You can hear me, right? It's super easy. It's super obvious. So as we're taking fights, every time that you reposition, you are taking your eyes off of what that player's doing, but he knows that you are peeking right now. He knows that now you're repositioning and you're going to stick out now.
Yeah.
So every time that you stop looking, you let me stare at the open space, the only spots that you could possibly come out of. And now you're always getting looked at. You're always getting shot first. On paper, moving around more consistently sounds like or looks like you're going to be more unpredictable with how you play, but it's actually doing the complete opposite, and all you do is telegraph what you're going to do to your opponent. What you need to do more instead is play more static, which doesn't really seem right, but it is. And the more static that you can be, the easier it is to be consistently in the moment and engaged. Would you rather fight this guy?
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Right? Or would you rather fight that guy who's constantly looking and shooting? So I want you to find a spot that you can shoot from, and now that you're there, be super engaged. Now, here's the kicker. There's only 3 reasons why we would move. If you shoot me and you break my shield, what do you think I'm going to want to do?
Get behind cover and heal.
Yeah, if I'm behind cover, can you shoot me?
No.
No. So the only thing that you could do is start repositioning forward to eventually put yourself in a scenario where you can swing, and now you can actually force yourself to see me. So when we peek at each other, right, it's completely reliant on if I let you shoot me. So the more engaged you are, the more passive I'm going to be. With me being more passive, you're going to have to work towards seeing me more. You'll actually make it harder for you to fight me by being more engaged, but you'll make it easier in the end to force me into the open. Now, the second reason why you would move around, if you just don't see me in general, you know roughly that I'm over here, but nothing's happening. I'm not looking at you, so you have to find an angle that looks into this direction. The third reason, the opposite of number 1. If you shoot me, I know, or rather, if I shoot you, I know you're going to look away, so I need to push you. So if you shoot me, well, I know that I'm going to have to look away, which means that realistically, you should be trying to push me. So if you're taking consistent damage, you're taking consistent pressure, you're going to have to reposition back to avoid getting swung. Let's put these together here.
Hostile close. Copy that.
Awesome. So if you're holding that angle on me and you're pre-firing, and just keep pre-firing that spot I'm in. Every time that you're holding that angle on me, I'm going to want to look away, which is an opening for you to holster your gun for extra movement speed, and then slide on up and force that player into the open.
Right.
So let's try that back.
Okay.
Awesome. Perfect. Then hold that pressure if you can. Now, do you watch like MMA or like any fighting sports?
Not frequently. Why?
No? Okay. Do you watch any sports or anything like that?
Football and basketball, yeah.
Okay, I'll use a basketball reference. So our goal is obviously to score baskets and, land points. When we're going for a basket, whether it be a layup, whether it be a 3-point, whatever, there's always going to be defenders. So right now, my goal is to get to you, the basket. I need to lock you into the open so that I can slam dunk and fucking, win this match here. But you're obviously defending and you're pushing me back and you're not letting me get up into that key. So what we need to make sure is my goal is to make a play and then follow through with what that play is. So let's just kind of think about basketball, right? We might create a screen, right? Or we might throw the ball off to the left. They start defending that left side, and then we can get it back to the right where it should be open. When we get that ball back to that right side, are we waiting to see what the defenders do? Or are we going to play off of what we know the defenders had to do to defend the initial play? Right? Does that kind of make sense? Right. So what you're doing right now is you're passing left and you're directing your opponents into cover, into a defense position, which is opening that door for you to move up right side. So if you are moving those players and then waiting to see what they do, well, now they saw that you passed off to that right side. When you go to score, you're getting blocked, you're getting defended. So you need to pressure and follow through with that. Just like how you saw me push you that last instant. I pre-fired you, you took a step back into cover, and then I swung you and you caught me walking up on you. Not the whole entire motion, right? But that motion towards the end. And at that point, it's too late. You're stuck in this fight. it's too late. My ball's already in the air. You gotta hope to God that like I hit the rim and you can get a rebound. As you start fighting, as you start shooting, what I want you to kind of think about here is you are shooting, bolstering, and sliding yourself forward. There you go, just like that. You're gonna hold that angle. Awesome. Holsters push up. I'm gonna take a step back. I'm gonna reset that fight.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're good. Here, we'll just full heal here. Okay, you hear where I'm playing roughly? You're looking to put that on your screen. Awesome. Awesome. That was huge. That's your slide forward. Lock me in. But you missed it. You pushed too late. And now you're stuck in that gunfight.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay.
So you want to think, even if you're not hitting shots, that guy's going to want to go, oh shit, I don't want to get hit. Go back into his corner. That's you holstering and sliding forward. Back to holding that angle on me.
They spotted me. I'm taking shots. Enemy down.
A lot better. So what we're going to do real quick is we're just going to add one movement mechanic to your arsenal. Then we'll take that and we'll go hop into some matches here. So come up here with me. Do you know what instant sliding is? You ever heard me or anyone talk about that? Some people call it fade slides.
No, what's that?
Okay. So an instant slide is just like how it sounds. It's a way to get into a slide instantaneously. So what most people hopefully or should know is that as you're running around with your gun in your hand, you're naturally just going to run slower compared to if your weapon's holstered. Everyone knows this. So right away, rule of thumb is if your goal is to move, your gun just simply goes down. There's really no exceptions other than if you're just in that person's face, you would use maybe a different mechanic as opposed to an instant slide. But again, nonetheless, your goal is to move, especially large distances, gun goes down. Goal to shoot, your gun stays in your hand, period. Now with that in mind, bolstering your weapon just doesn't affect your movement speed. It affects the second most mechanic that you used, which is slides. So if I want to hit a slide and my gun's in my hand, I'm going to run slow, which means my slide's going to be slower, which means my slide's not going to go as far. And even arguably worse, it takes me 1, 2, 3 steps to enter a slide. If I go shorter than that, for instance, 1, 2, get a dead slide, you're stuck in the open. There's not a single benefit to sliding with your gun in your hand. Now, as soon as you holster the gun, you run faster. So your slides are faster, your slides go further. And more importantly, just like how you did right there, one step, you're into a slide instantaneously.
Right.
So as we're fighting, what we want to make sure that we're doing is that we're shooting, holstering, and now we're entering that slide. The best way to get you to understand this is I want you already have your gun holstered, awesome. I want you to look at that center dot in your screen, that holster crosshair. I want you to hit swap weapon. I want you to tell me how long does it take from the time that you input to the time that that dot changes.
About quarter, half second.
Yeah, quarter, half second, depending on what stock, what gun you have. It's going to, affect it a little bit. But yeah, roughly it's quarter to a half second. This means you have from the time that you input swap, quarter to a half second where your legend still moves like his weapon's down. So what we're going to start doing is we're going to holster to prime our body to move fast. We're going to go swap. Now we have half of a second. Step, crouch. So what it looks like full speed is swap, step, crouch. And your gun should be in your hand at the top of your slide jump.
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
Just like that. So swap, step, crouch, and then hold that crouch all the way through. But watch this. As I'm fighting now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be shooting, getting out of my cover. On the strafe into cover is my holster mechanic. Now that my body's primed, I'm going to go swap step, crouch jump, and you're coming out of the corner already in a maximum speed slide with your gun in hand ready to shoot. So there's almost not a single negative to this other than the half second it takes to set up and the half second it takes to execute. All right, so let's see you try that. Have your gun in hand, holster pause, on holster slide jump. So what we're going to be practicing today is as we're fighting, right? We're going to be moving corner to corner. We're going to be finding teams that are in positions and holding. And our goal is to make sure that we are holding them back into their cover, holstering, and crossing up and working our way into these super forward fights so that we can make plays from those positions. Right?
Right. Okay.
Do you want to practice a little bit more in the 1v1s? You want to go hop into some matches here?
No, let's play some games, man.
Let's do
Yeah.
it. So we got a couple teams here. Let's land off to the side. So we know where people are roughly. We hear them. We can see their gunshots going off. Let's make sure that right now we are the team looking for others, right? Just like in the range, you want to be looking for me. You don't want me coming to start looking for you because now you're the one who's getting held. So right now I'm seeing and hearing people moving on over here. I'll wait for you to kind of start working your way up so I'm not just running around. Alright, so we hear everything happening out over here on this ping. I got one guy really hurt. As you can see, he's not going to want to fight, so that's us taking a chance to walk up on him.
Nice.
There should be a team still in the building. Now whenever we're ready, we'll start moving to position for this team.
Evo harvesters are now available.
45 seconds, rings close.
Don't hear them, so we can just start working our way up. Oh, they may not even be here. I mean, they might have ran.
Not sure. I think I hear an enemy that way.
Oh yeah, reviving, huge. Let's start working our way up. Now, something that you were saying before, right, is you want to think about, or you want to work on, like, what fights do you and what fights do you not take? There's really two key things here that you want to consider as you're working your way up or as you start like being engaged or whatever. And it is, do I need to take this fight? Is this a fight that will legitimately benefit me? Right? And is this a fight that is possible to take semi-easily, right? Like, am I going to really struggle if I try to fight this team? For instance, do you have a way to work yourself in easily? The answer is no, and it's going to be very difficult. Then odds are you probably shouldn't take it. What we worked on in the range is working our way up, right? How do we get ourselves into those fights, into those engagements? Pressuring our way forward. So if you don't have that means to pressure up, you probably don't want to take it. Break to us. So he's on the roof. He's kind of hurt. He's shit on. He's one shot. Oh, on your head. Broken. Nice. Alright. You still hear them fighting over here. There's a pad right here.
Need to recharge my shield.
I think they just revived underneath where I am. Yeah, they did. So, I'm gonna put a smoke. I'm gonna drop down into my smoke. Now I can start taking this fight with them face to face. Alright, we're gonna force them into the open here. I don't know where this last guy went. Kind of just disappeared. Alright, right here. No pressure on you, right? That's you walking up to the next piece of cover. Nothing's happening to you, right? So you gotta walk up. You just watch them run back right here.
Yeah, right.
Off on your left. To your left, there's a team right here. Coming to us right now. Right here. Whoa, one magged. Yep, good engagement on him. Nice. So do you kind of see what I meant right there when I was saying,
Yeah.
right? Like, you shot him, you watched him run away, and then you sat there and you're like, is he going to do something? What's he going to do? What's he going to do? And then nothing happened. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying when there's no pressure on you, when you do something, people want to look away. They want to become passive because they don't want to be engaged. They don't want to get hit. That's your cue to make sure that you're working your way up because people are going to keep running away from you. You're never going to keep getting shots. They're going to reset. Before you know it, what's going to end up happening is they're going to come back, look for you, and you're going to look away, and now they're on you the way that you weren't on them. Now, yeah, going back to in terms of like taking fights right now, this is a fight that we could very well take right here in the open. This is a fight that we very well could take. There's no one else that's really engaging with us. There's nothing basically working their way up close. Blue shield on the... Alright, he's got to look away. That's us walking up on him. I'm gonna put a smoke so that he doesn't see us while we run through the open right here. You got a cell or a battery off. Close on my right. So right here on the right side. He can't possibly look. He's too hurt. He's gonna pad, isn't he? Wraith here doesn't want to fight. Walker in the open. Commit her to that fight with us.
Gotcha.
I think your team is fighting right here on ping. Oh, right in front of us, right here. Ooh. Oh, careful. Okay, I'm gonna throw my ult on them, and then I'm gonna smoke so I can come and get this side angle. Oh boy, I'm stuck in this double one. Alright, no pressure on you. You're walking on up once you get healthy. Oh boy. Alright. He's smoking. He's gonna start reviving. Triple taking us from across the map. Almost one mag. I'm gonna smoke this guy way back here. He can't see anything. That's us walking up on him, right? We're taking the pressure off so that we can get close. And the closer we get, the easier it is to lock this guy into a fight that he can't really control. He's just stimming away. All right. Later, buddy. So yeah, going back to like that last team that we fought, not this one, but the one prior, right? Like they didn't really try to hold us. They saw us, right? They knew where we were, but they weren't on their corner. Oh, he's coming back. Right there. You see him? He's just standing right there in the open. Nice. I don't know why he just over-peeked that, but yeah, right? Like people aren't holding us. They're not pressuring us. They're not making us look away. So it makes it really easy to just shoot back, refire them. Oh, they're looking away. Let's cross up. Let's cross up. They both just dropped out of the hole. You see that? Yeah. All right, where are they moving? I think they're just camping right here. So no pressure on us. Cool. We're going to start putting pressure on you. Got a nade on him. I shot him into his cover. Urtinating him. This is our chances to start crossing up.
Right.
Lock one. Nice, you just shot on that guy. On your height. He's broken right here. He doesn't have any health. Come towards you. That's all you.
Talking.
Can we shoot from where we are right now? Can we engage and see people from where we are?
Yeah, I don't see anybody.
I don't see anyone either. So that means that we're looking to move forward. Oh, standing in the air. Oh. Oh, we shot at the exact same moment. That was perfect. All right, let's make sure that we're working our way on up. He just pulled his buddy back. Take this. Broken. You can wipe that guy. Nice.
Nice.
I'm on the care pack right now. So let's make this team 108 on one. Awesome. That's us walking up. I got a smoke on them. They can't see what's happening. I got a nade going on them. Start crossing on up. Gotta force this. They're gonna be relatively healthy. Plus it gets shit on. Nice. 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 There you go, right? That is just literally the exact same as all of our other fights. All we're doing is we're engaging first, hopefully. We get any type of damage, immediately you saw that team start looking away. right?
Yeah.
But people are going to start looking back at us. So what can we do to make that push through the open even safer? Smoke, put a nade on them. Now they don't want to peek. Pre-fire, keep them in their cover. So as you start playing, whether it be with your friends or whatever, you're playing ranked, that's the only thing that you should be thinking about as you're fighting is, okay, I know where this team is. What can I do to keep them looking away so that I can get close and, hey, you're stuck in front of me.
There's enemies in the area.
Perfect. Behind us. Ooh. Ash is pushing up between you and I. On you. Can't see me. I see you.
Nice play.
Now that team was probably the best one that we fought all day, right? As soon as they did something, that Ash was like, bro, I'm fucking on you. She locked you right into that fight. So on the flip side, as you know, obviously today we've mostly just kind of been practicing that whole defensive mindset of playing, or my bad, the offensive mindset of playing. The defense is the exact same, it's just flipped, right? And we talked a little bit about it in the range. If I'm doing damage, I'm walking up on you. If I'm taking damage, I know I'm probably going to get walked up on, especially if I'm shit on. So instead of playing where I am and then healing, what I want to typically do, especially if they're really close, or if you understand they have a teammate or you have an opponent that can move around effectively, like Ash. If you play where you are, they're going to get on you instantly. So you want to back off to heal, not heal to back off. Okay, so we know where they are. I'm gonna ult them back. 129 on Ash. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, maybe we start portaling back, right? That team's gonna want to swing up. You res, they're just gonna swing on us, I think.
Ring's not too far.
I'm taking a step back, right? I don't want that team to get right up on us. No, 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 no. Oh my god. Alright, I'm amazed they didn't push. There was no reason to not swing us.
Yeah, I think this triple take team is shooting them.
Oh, I thought that was the same team.
No, there's one here and one up there.
So we know where there's two teams. Oh, behind us, behind us. So this is who we're now looking at. Now we're looking for. 159 or 50. Nice, perfect. That's us just crossing on up. Last one's right here on ping. Nice. I'm gonna bounce off this. Oh my god. My smoke is safe if you land on me. The keybinds. Maybe on him. Get off my boy.
Nice.
Hold tight. I got your back. Tango down.
Oh, I missed that. 1 HP. Ooh.
Need a medic.
He's gonna back off. So it's either you're walking up on that. He's gonna be full health now, right?
Yeah.
So if... Ah, I didn't play any cover. All good. So here's what you want to think about, right? If it's a 1v1, you can't touch him. You need to think, right? He's going to be healing during that moment. So if you're not able to be on him while he's hurt and you're hurt, then you need to realize, okay, he's going to be healing. If I go to push him late, right, I'm not really playing off anything. If anything, I'm actually just swinging him when I'm just like 50 HP. So it's going to be way more beneficial for you to go instead, okay, I can't touch him, he can't touch me. Let's just both get healthy and then we'll both take a fair 1v1. Then you just start everything again from scratch. There's a lot of moments, obviously, you want to play off of it, but you just can't reach it in time. So you have to let it go and then just try again.